Copyright disclaimer. Under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use. Tips the balance in favor of fair use. Okay, I had to reread this because I had my recorder set on landscape and I forgot. So first of all, I want to say that it is legal to read a blog post or an article online on YouTube. As long as I follow YouTube guidelines, it is permissible and legal for me to read from a website, blog post, newspaper article, online article. So that's it. This comes from David Miscavige, Predator. You guys, don't forget, I'm the one who broke this one. And I'm not scared of anything. The funny thing about it is, when you've had everything taken away from you, you have zero fear. I mean, I never had a whole lot, but any fear I had, gone. Reporting to law enforcement. Almost no one understands just how traumatized Christy Wood still is from her childhood imprisonment, rapes, and beatings. Maybe this is what Rinder had on Davy. Victim shaming has been relentless, and people who should know better have walked away with complaints that Christy won't answer their questions. They do not understand that often she is simply unable to do so. The fact that the adversities in her life, murder of her son, Mark, and attempted murders of herself in 2016, and also just recently her other surviving son, had anything to do with her attempts to speak out about her abuse, came as a shocking surprise to her and sent her to the hospital with severe PTSD reactions. There's an answer for people like this that go and intimidate and bully women. Just drop them on the front lines of war. You guys know they wouldn't make it, right? These attacks have recently, after release of this website, on 27 December 2022, expanded to include my house in Pueblo, Colorado. The police have been notified. It is exceedingly difficult at this time to sort out the statutes of limitation and jurisdiction for the multitude of felony crimes surrounding this kidnapping and its cover-up. Well, the statute of limitations have been stretched out in many states. Davy. This is finally the first known report having been made through the FBI.gov website that has ever been made on this case, and it is being copied here for law enforcement to refer to. It's too small for me to read, so you guys, if you have a larger screen, you can click on that. Report by Scott Gordon, currently residing in Buenos Aires, Argentina. Persons concerned, Christy Woods, born 21 December 1975. Sounds like a second gen. Currently in and out of the hospital in Toronto, Canada. Mark Woods, born September 19th, 1995, killed September 16th, 2019 by a hit-and-run vehicle, now known to have been in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. LXXX Woods, born 3 March 1997, recovering at a hospital in Quebec City from a serious skiing accident suffered at the very end of 2022. Apparently, they didn't want her talking about this. Huh, Davy? Reporting suspicion of murder and attempted murder to cover up earlier multiple childhood rapes. Rapes, Davy. Mark Wood's son of the rape victim was killed September 16, 2019, in a hit and run later determined to have taken place in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Please spread this like wildfire, you guys, and go do some research on your own. Since I'm preparing for this surgery, there's a lot to be done. Mark Wood, son of the rape victim, was killed September 16, 2019, in a hit and run later determined to have taken place in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Christy was nearly killed herself in a hit and run carried out March 13, 2016. This is the birthday of the founder of Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard, now determined to have taken place in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, just up the road from me. According to Christy, she suffered a fire that burned her place down in British Columbia, Canada, in 2017. True marks of cowards, Christy's son, Mark Woods, was killed in a hit and run on September 16, 2019, right after Christy was interviewed on a video posted to the internet, YouTube, Sunday, 1st January 2023. Please, you guys, go scour and find that video. Please do that. We're going to spread it like wildfire, Davy. Christy learned that her youngest son, L, was in the hospital after being run off the trail by an unidentified skier in a long fall. One thing about these folks, these men, they're the biggest pussies that ever lived. Biggest pussies. And I can't help but think of Sonny Bono. Individual who committed the crime. After being run off the trail by an unidentified skier in a long fall. Individual who committed the crime, David Miscavige. I'm just reading it, Davy. Current age 62. David Miscavige is the rapist. Listen to this, you guys. David Miscavige is the rapist of Christy Woods, who is head of the international religion, the Church of Scientology. He has sent Christy threatening texts. It's court evidence, by the way, Davy. You're not the brightest in the bunch, are you? And is the primary suspect for the engineering of accidents being reported, including murder, possible arson, and 2 attempted murders. Additional information at http://davidmiscavigepredator.com. 4 attempted break-ins have occurred at my Pueblo, Colorado residence last night and this morning, shortly after the release of this website. Reported to Corporal Bustos of the Pueblo Police Department. The primary victim, Christy Woods, is seriously ill. I think to myself, poison. It's my question of the day. Has been recently in and out of intensive care, and often unable to answer questions or even provide basic information. She was trafficked across state lines from Florida to Hemet, California, by David Miscavige in 1987. The report I am making is to the best of my ability at this time, with urgency as to her safety and that of her surviving son. Let's make this go viral.